Hey guys, I want to let you know that our medical gear is back in stock. You can find it at tacticalrifleman.com. We've got Cat 7 tourniquets. You know you need to have one of them, but we also got our TR EDC med kits. These are vacuum sealed, packed by North American Rescue. They have got their 4-inch mini responder dressing, a 2-pack of hyphen vented chest seals, roll of 100 inches of 100-mile-an-hour tape, duct tape for sealing those wounds and stuff, set of large gloves, and then if you get the basic kit, it's got a roll of compressed gauze, literally a whole roll of gauze for packing wounds in that little pack right there, vacuum sealed. If you go with the advanced kit, it is filled with quick clot gauze. Same thing, it's gauze, it's just impregnated with the quick clot agent. Again, good stuff, vacuum sealed, approved by TSA to carry on planes, going to schools, kids' book bags, whatever. You can check them out at tacticalrifleman.com. Go to our store there. Hey guys, I want to let you know that our medical gear is back in stock. You can find it at tacticalrifleman.com. We've got Cat 7 tourniquets. You know you need to have one of them, but we also got our TR EDC med kits. These are vacuum sealed, packed by North American Rescue. They have got their 4-inch mini responder dressing, a 2-pack of hyphen vented chest seals, roll of 100 inches of 100-mile-an-hour tape, duct tape for sealing those wounds and stuff, set of large gloves, and then if you get the basic kit, it's got a roll of compressed gauze, literally a whole roll of gauze for packing wounds in that little pack right there, vacuum sealed. If you go with the advanced kit, it is filled with quick clot gauze. Same thing, it's gauze, it's just impregnated with the quick clot agent. Again, good stuff, vacuum sealed, approved by TSA to carry on planes, going to schools, kids' book bags, whatever. You can check them out at tacticalrifleman.com. Go to our store there. Hey guys, I want to let you know that our medical gear is back in stock. You can find it at tacticalrifleman.com. We've got Cat 7 tourniquets. You know you need to have one of them, but we also got our TR EDC med kits. These are vacuum sealed, packed by North American Rescue. They have got their 4-inch mini responder dressing, a 2-pack of hyphen vented chest seals, roll of 100 inches of 100-mile-an-hour tape, duct tape for sealing those wounds and stuff, set of large gloves, and then if you get the basic kit, it's got a roll of compressed gauze, literally a whole roll of gauze for packing wounds in that little pack right there, vacuum sealed. If you go with the advanced kit, it is filled with quick clot gauze. Same thing, it's gauze, it's just impregnated with the quick clot agent. Again, good stuff, vacuum sealed, approved by TSA to carry on planes, going to schools, kids' book bags, whatever. You can check them out at tacticalrifleman.com. Go to our store there.
coming right there.
Hey guys, this is the part where I ask you if you can hear me okay, right? I'm gonna try to straighten up my camera here a little bit for you. Not gonna work, that's all right. Hey, so welcome to our Tactical Tuesday live stream. Let me know if you can hear me okay. All right, I'm gonna actually go click right there. You guys can hear me, just put 5x5 in the chat room. All right, I was gonna have Steve Holland here. Everybody's saying 5x5, we're good. Cool. All right, instead of having Steve Holland, I got a text this morning saying that my buddy, Casey Belts, you know, my best friend from Wichita, Kansas, he's actually just happens to be driving through, and he's on his way to Fort Bragg. So anyways, I'm like, you've got to, you know, he's like, hey, can we stop by and visit? I'm like, yeah, I'm doing a live stream tonight. You want to be on? So anyways, I have got the chair for him. But before I bring him on, I've got another guest I really want to share with you guys. And he's a guy I do mountain readiness with, and he is awesome. Guys, I want to introduce you to Bob T. Toombs from Mountain Readiness Expo. Toombs, you there? Can you hear me, brother?
Yeah.
Okay, but this is the part where I ask you guys if you guys can hear T okay. But that means you got to talk, T. You got to talk, brother.
I got to keep talking. I'm not good at this. I'm not good at this stuff, you know. It's I'm not a professional like you are, Carl.
Yeah, I don't.
Does everybody hear me out there in YouTube land?
I think they can, dude. I think they can hear you. I can hear you. All right, so everybody's saying 5x5. All right, so we got Tees. All right, so here's the deal, guys. If you don't know who Tees is, T is the guy that puts on the Mountain Readiness Expo. You go to mountainreadiness.com, and he does a couple events a year, but the big event, and I had never been to it, T invited me to go last year. It was May, first week of May, and it's the same thing this year. It's what, 3rd, 4th, and 5th, T?
Second, third, fourth.
Second, third, fourth. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. And I'm here to tell you, I went to it last year. I did not know what to expect. He's like, I'll have you a classroom set up, but it's at a fairgrounds. We can camp out there. I roll in with my little off-road camper with my wife on the passenger seat, and we roll in. Angry American, Chris Weatherman, the author, he was there, and Toby and Karen from the chat room, they were there. And we just had us the camping part was awesome. It rained cats and dogs, but me and Emery, we put together these little 1 hour, 2 hour seminars that we wanted to do, and damned if it didn't work out freaking great. I can't say enough about the event. I was blown away. Hundreds and hundreds of people, like-minded Americans walking around. And for example, my wife attended one, you know, I've got honeybees here. My wife did one where she learned how to make medicinal honey, you know, and by adding herbs to it and stuff. I just thought that was an awesome class. I got JT calling me. What's up, JT? Tom is pretty quiet. We can barely hear him. All right. T, you're going to have to speak up, brother, because I'm loud, and they can barely hear you.
Here, I'll scoot in. Everybody can see my nostril here.
Okay.
You know, so that way we can get good and loud. How about now, guys?
Is that better, JT? Here's the deal. My son, who hooked it up, he already left. So there's not a lot I can do about it once my son leaves, guys. I'm trying. All right. That's that one. Nick, can you make T any louder? See the orange arm? That's my boy right there. He's like, no, I can't.
I need me a
Grab it and max it out. There we go. How's that, guys? T, go ahead and talk for me a couple times.
Yeah, how we doing now? Is there any way I can borrow Nicholas now and again to help with tech
Everybody's
issues
saying no.
on my side?
Nick, 2 points. Carl's IT has left the chat. All right, I think that's better, guys. If it's not, sucks to be you. All right.
Right.
It is clipping. I can't go any louder.
You can't go any louder. You want to go down a little bit?
No, I mean it doesn't really
Okay.
make a difference.
Guys, I'm not used to having people video in. I was on T's live stream last night, and we used a different program named StreamYard, and it seemed to work very, very well. So maybe me and Nick, we will migrate over to there. I don't know. I don't know. Nick's trying. Guys, he is trying. He's doing the best he can. You good, Nick?
That's all I can do.
Nick's like,
I'll see you on the way.
all right, T. So anyways, guys, I want to invite T to come on the show tonight because I wanted you guys to put a face to the name. You guys hear me talk about him. I brag about T's and the great event that he put on. So anyways, T's, I want to thank you for joining us tonight, brother. So you got any latest updates for Mountain Readiness Expo?
Well, hopefully everybody can hear me. I'm going to speak up a little bit louder. I'm deaf anyway, so I usually, yeah, and I see the coffee. I'm a little bit deaf, so talking loud is natural for me. But updates on Mountain Readiness, man, we've got over 50 instructors this time. We're going to have over 50 instructors this time. Those instructors range from, of course, yours truly, Mr. Carl Erickson and the Tactical Rifleman team. We've got Pat Milicic, the Croatian sensation, UFC champion. I think he had over 30 UFC fights, professional. We've got homesteaders. We've got hands-on chicken processing. Our good friend Byron Russell is going to be there doing AR-15. We're doing an AR lower class. So
Who's the guy doing the night vision one? Who's the guy doing the night vision the first night? We were talking about him yesterday.
So NC Scout, brush beater store. Matt with NC Scout, he is I believe he's the largest night vision dealer in the United States now. That in comms. So Friday night, we're gonna get all you guys over there that are experienced in these areas. Chris, you, whoever else, and we even have trucks. We even have vehicles with set up with IR headlights, so you will be able to drive under with your nods on, running AR on the vehicles. We're gonna do testing out thermal. He will have just ridiculous amounts of gear laid out there on the table, and you can step right up and try it before you buy it. Of course, all this stuff is for sale as well, but it's one of those things that, you know, it can get real pricey when it comes to night vision, and it helps to be able to go out there and play with this stuff.
Yeah, before you spend the money.
Before you buy it, right?
For sure. For sure.
And you even do some of that stuff yourself with your low light, no light, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, our next low light, no light class, guys, is I want to say it's July or August. You can find all of our classes at tacticalrifleman.com. We teach that at the Louisville Armory. I've taken night vision classes where you show up after dinner, and by midnight everybody's tired. That's a really short day. The advantages of doing it at the Louisville Armory is we can kill the lights at 8 o'clock in the morning and train till 5 p.m. You get a whole day's worth. You get your money's worth, in other words. And AGM Global Vision is sponsoring that course. It's a great course to learn about night vision, and you're shooting live ammo while you're doing it. So it's a good time. But cool part about Mountain Readiness, guys, is you pay that one fee to go to, it's like going to a county fair. You pay the one fee to get in there, but you have access to literally to everything. And if you want to do this class with Emory, and then you want to go do this other class with one of the medical instructors, you want to go do this, all these different classes, you just want to, if you want to take a couple hours off and you want to go back to your camper, go back to your hotel room, whatever it is, you can do that. And there's lots of vendors selling great stuff. And so, yeah, I think it's a great event that T's put on there. And one thing I'll say, guys, is I'm going to it because it's awesome. But then T, to hook me up, he's like, hey, I've got a range. It's an hour away, but after Mountain Readiness, since everybody's traveled to Mountain Readiness or already there, we're gonna, invite people to stay longer and take tactical rifleman classes. So his event is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then my tactical rifleman classes are combat pistol on Monday, combat pistol carbine Tuesday, Wednesday. That's a 2-day class with a night shoot on Tuesday. And then Thursday's Carbine Zero Mastery. Friday, the grand finale, Battle Rifle 1, which is all targets 50 to 300. It's a great time. And T, I think you said you're going to attend the last 2 days, Carbine Zero Mastery and Battle Rifle.
I'm going to try to do so. I thought it was a good idea 3 years ago. This is year number 3 for Mountain Readiness.
Yeah.
And I thought it was a good idea. I was like, hey, how hard can it be? Buy some tents, throw them up, empty the trash. But come to find out, running an event is a lot of work. And I find myself not enjoying all these awesome classes because I'm busy scrubbing bathrooms and emptying the garbage.
Yeah, my hat's off to you, brother, because you were nonstop busy. And everybody that's got a problem, who do you turn to? Well, let's just ask Bob Toombs. He can fix it. So yeah, you were chicken with your head cut off, running around for 3 days. So
we all have our cross to bear, but no, it's a great time. What I really like about this is, all the way up to the event, it's stressful. You're trying to get all the logistics worked out, but then it happens, and everyone sees, they go to these classes, and a lot of these classes repeat, guys. So, with the exceptions of the night vision class and the hands-on chicken processing, most of these classes will repeat themselves each day. So you'll get the chance to check them out. Day 1, you don't want to see this class, but you want to see it on the next day. It's probably going to be available again. So we should be hitting, I think it's close to 100 classes a day,
wow.
I believe, is what we're going to have. But the best part about this is you see all these classes, you learn, and then in the evenings, we all share a campfire together and fellowship. It's amazing being able to hang out with like-minded individuals.
Yeah,
how
for sure.
fulfilling that is.
That was my favorite part of it. Even Emery got hooked up. Emery found a friend there and made friends with a bunch of people. We had a good time. I got Randy coming, guys, and Randy Rawhide Worst. He's one of the greatest survival instructors on the planet. Randy didn't show up until the last day last time. He had other things going on, but he's coming this year. Randy's going to be doing some survival stuff. You've got all these other great instructors there. I'm actually going to shorten my schedule to only a couple seminars a day, and then Emery and Randy are going to do some. And that's because this event is so awesome. I want to go do some of these classes with my wife. And so, guys, this is one of those events that I don't want you to think of it as, well, it's just a county fair or it's just a rock concert that go on all over the U.S. The reality is they don't. There's not a lot of events like this. I don't know of any other one at this scale. And, there's a lot of people that, we won the election. We can relax a little bit. Guys, there are still dark clouds on the horizon. And we may have pushed it back a couple of years, but if I told you that, hey, 3 years from now you were going to have to do this, you would spend every day between now and then preparing. And I'm telling you right now, I don't know if you have 3 years. I don't know if you have 4 years or 5 years. I don't know. So if you really love your family, you really care about your country, your community, it behooves you to be a good influence on your neighbors and to try to help your brothers and sisters to your left and right. And the reality is buying, I don't care if you've got $20,000 worth of medical gear up in the attic, that doesn't help you when you're at the mall Christmas shopping, and that's when that mass casualty happens. More important than the gear is the knowledge. That will always be your best tool, your best weapon. Where do you get that knowledge? Well, a good intro to so many different subjects is Mountain Readiness. And I did not think my wife was going to enjoy it as much as she did. She went along with me to hang out with some of her friends. She's friends with some of my other patrons' wives that were there. And she came to keep me company. But by the end of it, Dana really had a great time, T. She really did. Really did. And it was awesome getting a chance to meet your wife and your whole homestead that you've got going on. Thou shalt not covet thy neighbor's chicken coops.
And let me add, if I could add to that as well, it's given where we are at in the world, to me, when it's calm, to me it's a sense of urgency to prepare more.
Yeah.
It gives us that time to do these things, to train and all these things. And for me, when you talk about survival, survival is really, it's not good or bad. It all comes down to who's more prepared, mentally, physically, spiritually, however you want to look at it. That preparedness level is what you got to keep in mind for where we got going. Carl, you've always said, and you said it best with, you said, when the time comes that you may have to defend yourself or your family.
Yep. Your daughter holding your hand. Yep. Your daughter holding your hand. Yeah, I use the analogy of your daughter holding your hand, and she's going to look up at you, and either you're going to save the day or you're not. And that's just the truth. That's it, for sure.
And you fall back on your level of your training, and if your training is subpar, then you may be falling back on nothing. So,
yeah, exactly.
That training is important in this day and age. So, that's why these events, look, there's a lot of good events out there. There is, I'm not going to, there's tons of them. There's homesteading events, there's bushcrafting events. What we try to do here at Mountain Readiness is to incorporate all these aspects of preparedness, because a lot of events, they're just, it's a homesteading event, it's a bushcraft event. They don't cross over into these other realms of preparedness that are important. Look, guys, if you are a homesteader and you cannot protect your homestead, then you are basically inevitably growing food for somebody else. It comes down to that.
That's one way to word it, yeah.
If you want to break it down like that, right? So we need to be really rounded. I can't stress it enough. Be well-rounded individuals, that's what it's about. And that's why at Mountain Readiness, we brought all these aspects of different preparedness together. I think that's what makes us unique.
Yeah, without a doubt. All right, guys, I'm not going to keep Toombs all night long. I got my buddy Casey I want to bring on here. But real quick, guys, Mountain Readiness. This is going to be a great event. I cannot stress it enough. First few days in May, and I look forward to seeing all of you guys out there. If you want to stay and do my classes after the event, cool, we'd love to have you. But you can do my classes year-round. This is a once-a-year thing, and there's just so many great seminars going on, so many great subjects. And he's pulled out all the stops. He's invited all the best instructors to be there from every walk of life for every subject, and it really is it's just a magical event. And I cannot wait to see all of you guys out there. I really cannot wait to do that at all. So, Yeah, I'm going to go back to T real quick. Parting words of wisdom, brother. What you got?
You know, it's take the time that we have to prepare yourself. There's no such thing as being too prepared, right? There's no such thing as having too much food, too much ammo, too much training. And so take these times that we have of good times, hopefully good times in our future, and prepare yourself better.
Yeah.
And that's the best I can do for it.
Guys, he has, it's one set price. It's under $100 for all 3 days. He has a lower price for, what is it, 16 to 18? And that's the cool part, because guys, you know, he mentioned, you know, you running out of stuff and you never having enough. There's never been a parent that has said that they, you know, I'm on my deathbed, I spent too much time with my kids. So I encourage you guys, this is a family event. Toombs has put together a great event. Bring your kids to it, bring your wife to it, bring your spouse to it, and it'll bring you closer together, and you're going to have fun doing it. You really will, and you're going to learn a lot. So, hey, Tease, thanks for coming on, brother, and it's been a pleasure. And yeah, I look forward to, we're going to hang on, I think Chris Weatherman's got a live stream coming on. We're both going to be on. Yeah. And we're going to keep promoting Mountain Readiness. It's going to be awesome, guys. All right, Tease, thank you for your time, brother. You're East Coast. I don't want to keep you too long.
You gotta give them
all right, buddy?
Hey, thanks for having me on, brother. Always appreciate it.
Yeah, you take care.
Be safe.
Yeah, bye-bye. All right, guys. I'm gonna wave at Casey Belts. I'm gonna give him a minute to get over here, put his mic on, and then we will bring over the legend, Casey Belts.
Stop.
You doing good, man?
Yeah, doing real good. Got a good workout today.
Guys, here's the deal. You know the deal. If you got any questions, you send them to JT, and JT will text them to me. All right, I'm going to slide over a little bit, so you can slide over. Come snuggle, Casey. All right, guys, I got Casey coming in. All right, this Casey. You don't have
Howdy.
to put your arm around me. You don't.
I want to though, Carl.
Ew. Guys, it's been a couple of years, but we've had Casey on the live stream before, and it's always a pleasure. Literally, this was a text I got this morning. Me and Nick were getting ready to go to the gym. I get a text, hey, we're passing through on our way to SOCOM. Can we stop by? What are you doing at SOCOM? What are you doing at Fort Bragg?
Just being part of the use of sock sniper competition.
Guys, so I tell the story better than he. Actually, he tells the story better. Mine's truthful.
Which story?
How we met.
Oh.
So I did the very first SOCOM sniper competition. Me and I needed a spotter, so I brought Jeffrey Fryer from my A team. We came back from Africa. We had just done Iraq, then we went to Africa, and they sent us back to go to this sniper competition. We brought what we've been doing combat with. We brought SR-25s. Everybody else is running bolt guns, a little more accurate than us. We were doing great, except for Jeffrey Fryer. He couldn't hit anything. He could spot great. He could call wins great. He could do it. Jeff couldn't hit nothing. I'm like, Jeff, you're a better shot than I am. What's going on? Carl, I don't know. I'm having problems with my gun. The last day of the match, he shot so bad, I took his gun away from him, and I'm like, let me see. And he had a floating nut in the bottom rail that you're supposed to put the bipod in. And because he had the bipod connected via a Picatinny thing, that nut was floating, and it had gotten wedged on the gas block. His floating barrel hadn't been floating for 2 days. So anyways, we end up taking 4th place. But 2 of the teams that beat us were both running these monopods on the back of the stock. And I'm like, what's up? They're like, yeah, everybody in Sodix got these things. It's called the AccuShot monopod. So we get back from this competition. couple months later, they're like, hey, Carl, you're the master sniper in the company. You're going to SHOT Show to find new gear. The master assaulter's going to get new stuff for the assaulters. You're going to get new stuff for the snipers. And they're like optics, whatever. And all I'm thinking is I'm getting me an AccuShot monopod. So I get there, and the doors aren't open. Well, SHOT isn't opened yet, but the doors are open. I just can't go in. Only the vendors are in there. But I can see down the hallway, there's this big cardboard AccuShot monopod.
It couldn't have been that big. The way you came in, it had to be like that tall.
From 300 meters away.
Yeah.
I have a eye for distance.
I know.
It was actually 342 meters away.
And all I saw was just a little bitty guy coming in the aisle and just walking like he had somewhere to go.
And I did.
You did.
I walked, and that was your first SHOT show?
First SHOT show.
Very first SHOT show.
And I had no idea that monopod was being used at Bragg. Is actually, I can't think of his last name, Curtis and Mark, with Spartan Blades. They introduced it to the schoolhouse there. And I found out about it on Sniper Side. Somebody said, hey, you ought to go look at this. And I went and looked at it. It's so funny, you know, one of those keyboard warriors was like, oh yeah, the monopod's good for bench shooting. It's no good in the field. And this guy, he's a civilian instructor there. I can't think what his name is right now. But anyhow, he said, well, actually, we've been using it at the schoolhouse for the last, 8 months.
Yeah, a lot of people don't want to try new stuff. So anyways, I walked up to his booth and AccuShot monopod, and he looked at me. I'm in civilian clothes. I'm just some schmuck. My badge said Carl Erickson, 5th Special Forces Group, and I said because we have 7 snipers per A team because you've got the head shed for it and everything, and I'm like, I want 14 of them. And you basically went, wow.
I played it cool. I was like, okay, no big deal inside of the script. Yeah! Yeah, I thought that was what it's going to be like, and that was the only sale we made that day.
But as I walked around SHOT Show, right, because you got Glock and all these other booths, there was nothing at SHOT for snipers either. You know, what makes this Smith & Bender better than last year's Smith & Bender? Well, now it's available in tan. Well, that's why God made spray paint. We'd already painted everything. I don't need a new scope. So it turns out I end up hanging out at Casey's booth, and we became friends. Friends.
Yeah, true.
And then he said, Carl, I've got an idea for a bipod. And I'm like, bipod? We already got a bipod, man. They do monopod. He's like, yeah, I'm going to make it better. How do you make it better than the Harris Ultralight bipod? The thing's perfect. Nada. Little did I know, this guy's got a 100-pound head on him, and he's quite the inventor. And so we've hit it off. We've become good friends.
I'd say.
Good friends, yeah.
Yep, 10 hours apart.
10 hours
keeps
apart.
us honest.
I see him once a year at SHOT Show. I run up your way in June. Right?
Yep. We do a little range day.
You came down here for Thanksgiving, which was
I've done
awesome.
that a few times.
Yeah,
very enjoyable.
I had my
your
parents
wife,
here.
Your wife puts on a spread now.
She did. Yeah, she had
it's beautiful.
seating.
Yeah.
Guys, we took all
out of the magazine.
We moved all the furniture out of the living room.
And that's a lot of furniture.
That's a lot of furniture.
Yeah.
We laid out folding card tables.
Unlike me, Dana actually plans on this and gets it all squared away.
So we had all the tables in a row, tablecloths. My wife, she had the gold chargers and cloth napkins and all these
flowers
and chandeliers and I'm not chandeliers, candlesticks. It was beautiful. It was. Yeah. You didn't want to eat off of it because it looked so beautiful, and
the food was marvelous.
The food was good. Casey helped me. We fried 2 turkeys.
We don't need to talk about frying turkeys.
So we fried 2 turkeys. That's the excuse to keep us out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
And they did
one
turkey
was right
in the oven.
And one was
One
better.
was right and one was better. And then we had a spiral cut ham. We weren't responsible for. In other words, we didn't ruin the ham, but that turkey was good. The second turkey was awesome.
Yeah, I didn't have any of it.
Because you got sick on the first one.
No. There was so much food, you left it in the shed.
Yeah,
that
that's why we didn't get into the second one. The second one
I didn't even think, where's that other turkey?
Anyways,
Didn't cross my
for
mind.
my blushing bride who's over there, watching right now, laughing at us. Casey's wife and my wife are sitting on the couch over here making fun of us. But it was a great Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, very much
It's
enjoy it.
always great hanging out. From
Yep.
there, SHOT Show. It was good.
Yep. And I got to say that I don't know how many people actually know you outside of YouTube, Facebook, whatever it is, but you're as real in person as you are on this, and it means a lot to me. You know, I've
right
always.
now they're saying I'm as artificial as you can get on the internet, so they can imagine I'm artificial in person.
Well, they can say that. It's okay. You gotta, determine who you're.
Okay.
You know, you
Well,
don't
I
have to empower
appreciate
that.
that.
Well,
I
I'm
do
just
appreciate
saying.
it. You know what I love
you're,
about Casey is I wasn't born without a conscience. It's just I'm deaf, and
so is Casey.
and I got all these other voices in my head yelling all the time. A lot of times my conscience doesn't even get in the vehicle with me, but Casey is always there to remind me. Bad idea, Carl. No. How about no? No, have you thought about doing this? Don't do that. And so anyways, Casey's made me a better person. I'm not ashamed to say that.
Wow. That was very nice of you to say.
So he had me come to a combat mindset class for his employees. And they're wrapping up work. We're getting ready to go in his conference room. And he sat this jar in the middle. And he said, you use too much profanity. And every time you use a cuss word, you've got to put $5 in the kitty, in the jar. And I thought about it, and it's like, I just taught this class like 4 times down at Tier 1 group in the last 2 weeks. And you understand, a class is muscle memory, right? And I'm thinking of all these sentences. They all have prepositional phrases in them that involve talking like a sailor. So I just walked in, I put 2 $100 bills in the thing, and I said, Casey, I'm going to do my best. That was I used the least amount of profanity teaching at that time than I ever had the rest of my life. But up to that point, and I told Casey I'm doing the best that I can to not cuss. He considers the word shit as cussing.
I just think there's better words to use. And I think if you're gonna go to a mixed audience, why say or do something that's gonna offend somebody?
I agree with you 100%. Okay. So since then, those of you, because a lot of you guys have attended my classes in the last 5, 6, 7 years here.
I don't judge people for their language. I really don't.
But you guys can attest that while I still use profanity on occasion, honestly, any of you guys, put it in the chat room, how many times during combat mindset or when I'm actually teaching a block of instruction, except for when we're talking about shooting people in the face and mixing metal and meat together, right? But combat mindset, I really have, Casey, cut down using a lot of my, because you're right, it's not professional. It's not professional.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was that big a deal. I just thought that you could, I just know you could do better, Carl. You're supposed to be able to do that, right?
I love you, buddy. You know I do.
I know I do. Funny stuff.
All right, so U.S. SOCOM sniper competition.
Yep. Some of the best, finest individuals walking this earth are going to be there.
I think it was the second year of the competition, or the third year. Second year. After the trip, guys, were it was 2004, the Battle in Najaf and the Battle of Fallujah. We got the end of it. We did a lot of sniper ops, but it got the end of it, and you got to do an after-action review. And most people will just write, well, this is what we did. Well, I sat down, and I'm like, me and my warrant officer, and we're like, what did we actually do wrong so that we can do this better and help other people? We wrote a blistering AAR, just beating hard on ourselves. Some of it was success stories, but a lot of it was stupid mistakes that my A team made. Yeah. Well, we had to send it up to higher, and the group commander flew into Baghdad, and they're like, Master Sergeant Erickson, you have to drive the gauntlet from Anbar province into Baghdad because you have got to brief this to the group commander. And okay, they made me a slideshow and everything. I didn't even make the slideshow, some captain did. But I went and briefed it to him, and he ended up giving me his group coin afterwards, and he's like, Your after-action review has gone to the top of the Pentagon, and everyone has read it. And I just wanted to hear it from your own mouth. And so anyways, I guess word spread out, I got invited to go brief this after-action review at the sniper competition. I wasn't competing, and turns out Casey was going there. I think that was your first time being a sponsor there.
I went to the very first one. They got coins for it.
I didn't even see you there.
Well,
we didn't know each other then.
No,
maybe.
I was at the. I was selling action shot monopods.
Look alike to
I know.
me. Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
But I got a really cool coin that says first annual sniper competition.
not
And
even know
somebody
you were
was
there.
somebody was talking about, oh, I've been going the last 7 years and all this stuff. And I was like, hey, do you happen to have one of these? What is
Yeah,
that?
the coin.
What is
I didn't
that?
get one of those
Yeah.
coins.
Anyhow.
I didn't get one. You got one.
I'll let you have it.
No. I
Good.
bet it's on the wall here somewhere. I probably do have
It's
it.
an undersized like brass.
That's the
but-
only time I competed. I took 4th place. I suck.
No. Anyhow, the rest of that story is that somehow we hooked up. How did we? It had to be after. What is that?
Emery forgot it's Tuesday night. Hey, Emery, we're in the middle of live stream. Today's Tactical Tuesday. Thank you for interrupting.
Oh, shit. That was exactly why I was calling.
Really? You watching the show?
No, I wish I just got off the track.
Okay.
So,
I'll tell you what. I'll call you back when we get done.
all right, well, send my warmest to everybody who's watching, please.
All right, guys. Emery sends his warmest.
Hi, Emery.
I got Casey here with me.
Oh, what's up, brother?
Yeah, just you, bro.
I'm sorry, guys. I usually get calls in the middle of live stream. It's just usually not Emery. Emery, I'll give you a yell back later. All right, buddy? Thanks,
All right,
man.
brother, peace.
Masalama. All right.
Anyhow, finish the story. Somehow you had to know me because
Yeah,
you
I
picked
did.
me
Yeah,
up
yeah,
and
yeah.
you put me in the back of the car, and you said, "We're going to go do this deal. You're going to sit in the back. You're not going to say anything. You're just going to act like."
It was a classified briefing, and
Are you going to get in trouble for this?
I guess we could have. That sniper competition, guys, is not open to the public. It is only for the competing snipers. And anyways, but they had all the snipers, the competitors there, and they brought in a couple different guest speakers. One of them was, remember the sniper in Afghanistan?
I just remember you.
Anyways, he fell out of the helicopter and
Oh.
like all the ammo came out of it. He stuck
I
individual
remember that.
bullets in his molly. He didn't have any night sights. It was a night shoot. They put him in a helicopter to do Overwatch. And good story. He ended up getting like the Distinguished Service Cross or something for it. He gave his story first, and then I was the guest speaker. But that's no big deal. But the cool part was I got to see all the vendor displays, and you had some good stuff. Wasn't Trey there from Knight's Armament?
Yeah. Good old Trey.
Guys, I'm not a big fan of Knight's Armament. I love the SR-25 Mark 11, but I will never give them a dime of my money.
Yeah. Fun
That's
stuff.
some good coffee.
Wow, that
is some good
really
coffee
looks
right there.
terrible. What is that?
That is 8 shots of espresso from Five Stone Frontline Coffee. My buddy Eric,
What's the
he's
color
from
in
Kentucky.
it? What's the color in it?
That's Hershey's chocolate syrup because I gave up cream for Lent.
Okay. It looks like a lot of chocolate.
I miss, yeah, right. That's a lot of
Yeah.
chocolate.
Yeah, fun stuff. Hey, we
Eric, thank you for the support, guys. 5stonefrontline.com for coffee.
so we can't talk about it, but I do have a surprise for you, and I can't wait to give it to you. But it's going to be October, I think.
October?
Yeah. So probably shouldn't say anything to you now, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't
You wouldn't.
want to know about it now.
Okay.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. I think it's going to
You
be.
got
It's going to be
to
fun.
tell me, Casey. You got to
I think it's going to
tell
be
me.
fun. There's you can't say any words, but there was something about the Atlas that you were like, Casey, this sucks. You need to have this, that, blah, blah,
Oh,
blah.
really? No shit.
You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes! Yes!
So.
Dude, I'm fine. Now
Yeah.
I'm retired.
But what are you doing retired?
Teaching people how to use it. You're
Yeah,
right.
yeah. Hey, I got a question for you.
So in other
Can we
words,
segue?
hold off.
No,
Don't
no, no.
buy that
No,
Atlas right now.
no. Because we don't even know if it's going to work.
Jeriel just went, no.
Hey, here's the deal. Here's the deal. There's going to be 5% of the people that know what it is when they see it. They're going to be like, why? So what? That's what they're going to say.
Yeah.
But I have a serious question for you. I've always, at 15 years old, I got put on a bus and sent to Fort Hood for a survival course.
Yeah.
It was probably one of the most memorable
15.
things. 15. You're supposed to be 16.
Okay.
Okay. You know my character. My mom said, you're going. Yep, he is 16.
Yep.
His older brother's going with him.
Yep.
And learned a lot. Learned about drugs first time. Learned about rappelling. Learned about killing rabbits.
You're saying you did drugs there.
Oh, yeah. The medic. The medic had drugs.
Smoking weed or what
Smoking
was it?
weed.
Smoking weed?
Yeah, all kinds.
As a 15-year-old.
Yep. And to the point where the day we did the 150-foot rappelling, I walked up there and looked down, and the sergeant grabbed me by my pant strap and just planted me and just ripped me. What do you think you're doing? I was like, just looking down there. He said, you're going to be down there, boy. You can't. But anyhow, it was one of the most memorable things. I enjoyed all of it. But one of the things I've always puzzled about and I've wondered about, I heard your last guest talk about, being trained and knowing different aspects of survival. And, one of the things that goes through my mind is you always want to improve your situation.
Yes, sure.
I don't know. I have a doctor who is a PE, a friend that's a PE, but he's in Florida.
Okay.
Texas, I'm sorry. We're traveling right now. I have some skills, right?
Yep.
But if things go screwy, wonky, whatever, and we pull over, we're in Kentucky.
Yep.
What's going to happen to us? We're self-sustaining in the vehicle, but at some point,
make it to the hill.
Some point, somebody's going to say, "There's a target," right?
Yeah.
So here's the thing that I've always struggled with, and maybe it's the wrong place. Is it the wrong place to ask?
No, not at all.
So here's what I've struggled with. You're at your home, and somebody comes and says, "Hey, it looks like a kid coming up the driveway. The alarms went off. Kid's coming up the driveway." Sure enough, you look, 6-7-year-old girl walking up there.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do?
We're gonna roll her up and question her. And if she's bait to try to get you, they're getting ready to raid the place, and she's just bait, then so be it. But the flip side of it, Casey, is because you understand, you being out in your van, 90% of people out there are just out, and they're caught as behind the power curve as you. That might just be a little 7-8-year-old little girl who's just out on her own. And the good Christian thing to do, you can't just say, "Hey, piss off, get off the hill and leave." You can't do that. You can't do that to a 7 or 8-year-old little girl. And I'm not saying I want to start an orphanage here. No. But you can't turn people away.
Yeah. What if they were 15 years old? 15
years old, that's a good age right there. I can put that person to work.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
What about if they're 90 years old and they come down with a cane?
Help them pick a plot.
I mean, that's a little harsh. I wasn't going to go quite that hard on them.
You were going there.
You realize Randy's not too far away from that. Randy's 72. Randy's a badass.
72 is not 99.
I didn't say 99. I said 90.
Okay, well, 72 is 18 from 90. Yeah,
18 goes by fast, especially
not when you're
smoking dope on a rappel tower.
Not when you're growing up. 18 took forever, right?
That was a long year.
And here's the deal. I
joined the Army at 17. So that was a long year for me. It really was.
Here's the deal. If Randy shows up and he's like, "Hey, I've got these skills," it's like, okay, I don't care how old you are. But you're saying somebody wobbling up the driveway using a cane.
You understand, not everybody's welcome on the hill. And you've got to have those boundaries set ahead of time. For example,
tough thing.
Emory knows Emory is welcome on the hill.
Yeah.
Okay. Emory lives in Louisville, where my daughter's doing pre-med. So long as he brings my daughter back here safe and sound, he's more than welcome on the hill.
Yeah.
He's allowed to bring one guest, childbearing age that has skills, and Emery said, "Well, Carl, you know I'm snipped," and I'm like, "Not for you, Emery, you know." That's a joke. That's a joke.
Oh,
between me and
okay.
Emery.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, you do have to make those decisions, but understand there's one. You can what if it all you want, but no matter what scenario you come up with, whether you're zombies. By the way, zombies aren't real, guys. I'm just throwing that out there. Post-apocalyptic EMP or global collapse or global pandemic or financial collapse or the Canadians invade, you know, because they stand as much of a chance as the North Koreans do, which is zero, by the way, which is zero. No matter what scenario you're planning on, the Yellowstone supervolcano, whatever it is, whatever scenario you're planning on, understand that's not what it's going to be. It's just not. You're never going to be prepared. You're going to have forgot not just something, but you will have forgotten so much. You will have neglected so much. And no matter what contingencies you put into plan, put into place, it's never going to work. But you're still going to be so much better off than the people that just said, "Oh, it's never going to happen, so I'm not going to try."
So you don't scenario things out?
No, you have to, but prioritize things.
Sure.
Look at
What's realistic.
What's more real. For example, you have a place in Gulf Shores, Alabama. Should you be preparing for financial collapse or hurricane season? Right? One is more likely to happen than the other. And I'm not saying don't prepare for financial collapse or don't prepare for an EMP, but start with the immediate most likely scenario. FEMA actually teaches that every household, and when you say the word FEMA, everybody goes, "Oh man, if it's FEMA, it's got to be wrong." No, it's not, because you understand they're a self-licking ice cream cone, but they've actually, they have war game stuff to the point to where they've gotten it all wrong. But some of the things that they didn't come up with
discovered, right?
No, but when they created that whole agency, a lot of the stuff that was out there was already in place by the Civil Air Patrol, by the Red Cross, by all these other agencies. Yeah. FEMA just put it on their website, but they recommend every household should have 2 weeks of food, right? And I support that. Start with 2 weeks of food. Not just food, all the perishable items and everything that you need. Well, how do you determine what you need? COVID. Remember COVID? You remember the run on the stores where everybody was running out of toilet paper? Dana was like, "Carl, do I need to go buy toilet paper?"
Yes.
And I'm like, "Honey, how much
Go
toilet
buy it all."
paper do you have up in the attic?" And she went, "Oh, I've got a lot of toilet paper." I'm like, "Well then,
Love you, Dana.
Don't worry about toilet paper." But honestly, guys, I want you to look at COVID as a rehearsal. It was a bad disease, but it was not the global killer that they were making it out to be. And we're fortunate. So think of COVID as a rehearsal. Now, once you got 2 weeks of food, then have a month of food, double it, and then go 3 months. And when you get to the 3-month mark, what's going to happen is you're going to realize it's not just 3 months of food. I also need to have medical gear at my house. I need to have, because if it is a hurricane, lightning storm, the roof comes off, I need to have tarps. I need to, nail guns. Well, they run off of batteries. I need to have a way to charge those batteries. You see what I'm getting at?
Oh, sure.
But as you start going down that rabbit hole, your blinders come off. And when you depart the 3-month, I've got enough food for 3 months. When you go the next layer after that, you start going down the whole, I'm not big on the term prepper, because it's got so many derogatory connotations that go along with it. But I was told 1,000 times that that Special Forces is Boy Scouts with guns. And basically our motto is be prepared. Be ready for that class. Be ready for that mission. Be ready for any contingency that might go wrong, and prepare for it ahead of time. And then when combat actually happens, it's going to be easy. And that's how combat was for us. Training was always harder. And so I've tried to share that with my classes, and it took a while. But Dana's and Mountain Readiness helped a lot, guys. If your spouse is not on board with you doing a lot of this stuff, I encourage you, bring your whole family to Mountain Readiness. But I brought Dana to Mountain Readiness, and it wasn't just Mountain Readiness. It was a little bit before that. The more she's around Randy and everything else, she starts going, she sees something on Tickety Tack or Click Clack or TikTok, whatever app you guys are watching, and she'll be like, "Oh, Carl, we got to get one of these." And I'm like, "Honey, remember I taught that class 5 years ago?" She's like, "Yeah, you did, didn't you?" "Yeah, we got 2 of those up in the attic." And then 2 weeks later, she's like, Carl, have you thought about this? Maybe we should get one of these. And honey, we've got 2 of those.
She's on board. She's on board. You
Dana's
gotta
on
love
board.
that. You gotta
Dana
love that.
I'm very proud of her. She rocks that Harvest Right freeze dryer year round. We got all the fruit tree orchards and everything. That girl can freeze dry with the best of them. And
Nice.
my wife has more buckets of chow than Angry American does.
That's
Good
funny
stuff.
stuff. Yeah,
All right,
for
so
sure.
go on to your point. I didn't mean to interrupt you.
My point being, what
The
about
the 90-year-old walking down the hill.
Oh yeah, you'd have to see what he has to bring to the party, right?
Yeah. What can you contribute?
Mm-hmm.
One, but 2, you've got to weigh your resources, and that's on the checklist. You've got to weigh your resources, right? Guys, there's a great place, survivalblog.com, and it's not a good website. Wesley Rawls, he wrote some of the first real survival novels that a lot of you have read probably. It's a blog site, but it has a lot of like PDFs and checklists to download. And the more you start reading it, you realize you've got to calculate, how many servings you have to have of this or how much of this. And it did not really click until my wife said, Carl, we've got 17 people on the hill. And not all of them live on the hill right now, but they're family members that if something happens, we're going to immediately bring in. And then when you start looking at, remember I mentioned FEMA says 2 weeks of food. 2 weeks of food for 17 people. All of a sudden, that's not a bucket of rice anymore. That's you're
more.
It's more.
Yeah.
And
the other thing to run through your head is the fact that people present one thing and then into it they become something else.
Yeah.
We experienced that on the sailboat trip. We're 600 miles from the shore in the Pacific Ocean, and one of the sailors, just decides to be a turd about things, and it's like, it's just kind of a different dynamic, and you got to be able to.
And you guys get what Casey's saying, right? And don't think, well, he was stuck on a boat with somebody. You understand if you've circled the wagons and you've brought people up into your little commune or wherever, you're all stuck in your apartment building on the 7th floor, whatever it is. You've got one person stuck there with you. They can really ruin that party. It doesn't have to just be on a sailboat.
No, for sure.
Yeah,
It was just. I mean, the options were limited.
Yeah, you can't.
You can't.
How do you get them off the boat?
Well,
I'm not gonna ask.
do disappear.
Fishing was great after that. We chummed the water.
Yeah.
Fishing was awesome.
No, he come around. He was okay, but just the self-absorbed type of situation. So that's what that was.
Good stuff. All right, guys. I'm gonna see if you guys got any questions for Casey Belt. Actually had a couple. This one right here is from Gavin Simpkins from Australia. He threw down 5 Australian quid of the King's money. Hi, Carl. Question about this mountain readiness thing. On what kind of hydraulic equipment training do seeing that I've never been there? Hydraulic equipment at mountain readiness. Gavin, it depends what subject you're talking. There are guys there that'll be going over farm equipment and things like that. I won't be using any hydraulic equipment at all. One of the little seminars that I'm teaching, for those of you that are interested, is I will be doing vehicle recovery. And I get everybody in the classroom. At first we talk about how vehicles get stuck. Well, the wheels are spinning and the vehicle's not moving.
Carl drives them.
Yeah, I got that. But we talk about contact patches and lowering tire pressures to get larger contact patches, and limited slip differentials versus a locking axle and 4-wheel drive versus 2-wheel drive, all-wheel drive, and weight on one tire versus the other. But after we talk about, okay, this is how you actually got stuck, because if you realize how you got stuck, one, you can avoid it a lot of times, but two, sometimes you just got to adjust the weight of the vehicle or just air down tires, things like that. So, but after that will be toe straps and kinetic straps and the differences between them, advantages and disadvantages. We're going to get into using the high lift jack, or farm jack. A lot of guys, it's a great tool, and it can be used for so many more things than just a jack. We're going to go over how to use a winch safely. A lot of people think a winch, you just push the button in and out, and it's going to it's going to magically get your vehicle out of the ditch. There's a lot more to it than that. Using snatch blocks, another word for a pulley, but also the safety of you, because you understand, if you're pulling, don't just think the weight of the vehicle. If it's mogged in mud, that's 4 times the weight of the vehicle right there, just the hydrostatic pressure. But also, right, you've got inclines and it's hung up on a rock, whatever. That's a lot of weight, a lot of stress you're putting on that line. And if something breaks, or we've had bumpers rip off of vehicles, we've had trailer hitches snap off, and yeah, it'll put holes in windshields. It will, it really will. So anyways, I will not be using any hydraulic equipment. Casey, I really want you to come to Mountain Readiness, dude. I really do.
Yeah.
Next one's from Dinosaur. How is the knee, Carl? Incredibly terrible. I appreciate you asking. Yeah, guys, I did my rehab, and it improved to a certain part, and then they're like, yeah, it's going to keep getting better. And then it just never did. It's just like I just had the surgery 3 weeks ago. It's been 1.5 years. It's just still not getting any better. Nick Schaefer threw down $10 and a couple decorations there. Carl, comma. How much do suppressors affect accuracy? Do you use a larger caliber suppressor than the caliber you are shooting? Does that affect accuracy? Finally, are OTB suppressors more accurate? OTB. All right, first off, the number one way that suppressors actually improve accuracy is it keeps the shooter from flinching. Serious as a heart attack. A lot of times a suppressor, a well-made one, will actually reduce the perceived recoil. And without all that extra kick, think 300 Norma or 338 Lapua, right? Without that big kick and without the loud noise hitting the guy in the face, compared to a muzzle brake. A muzzle brake, you have that big shock wave that hits you in the face. And a lot of times the shooter does not flinch as bad. So accuracy, it can actually improve your accuracy, you as the shooter. It's not making the rifle more accurate. The problem, there are a couple downsides with suppressors. Number one, attaching them. A lot of times when you put them on, if they're not identical the same way every time, it will actually give you what's called a zero shift. It's not making the rifle any more inaccurate. It's the same size shot group. It is just moved. An example of that is my SR25 Mark 11, I talk about my suppressor. Every time I put it on the gun, it would move my point of aim, point of impact, half an MOA left, half an MOA up. So every time I mounted the suppressor in the hide sight, sun goes down, you put on the night sight, I had to go half an MOA down, half an MOA left. Then in the morning when I took the suppressor off, I had to go half an MOA right and half an MOA up. And you get in the habit of doing it, not a big deal. But that's if your suppressor has a repeatable shift, number one. So putting a suppressor on a gun, you need to make the decision, I'm going to run it with the suppressor always, all right? And then you leave it on and then you're good, all right? We couldn't do that with the SR25s because you understand doing urban movement, it's adding an extra foot onto the end of the gun, you know? So we would take them off while we were moving. So one shift. Number two, though, is as the gun starts to warm up, that is a lot of extra weight on the end of the barrel. And what you'll see is your bullets will actually, if you're shooting a lot, you're like, let's say you're at Fort Bragg doing a sniper competition and you're doing snaps and movers. You're going to be doing 30, 40, 50 rounds in a row. All right, the barrel starts to heat up. The extra weight of that suppressor, you'll actually start hitting low. It's called barrel droop because of the weight of the suppressor. Now here's the thing, as soon as the gun cools off, it goes right back to zero again. As the barrel cools, it straightens right out. It's not a permanent shift, right? So long as you're not letting your sniper rifle get hot, no shift at all, number one. That's at number two. You also mentioned running larger caliber suppressors on a gun. Does that affect accuracy? It does not affect accuracy any different than a tight bore suppressor. Whether it's missing a little bit or whether it's missing a lot of bit does not affect the accuracy of the gun. You're still going to get a slight increase in muzzle velocity. They call it suppressor bump because the gas is building up behind it slightly longer than if you had an exposed barrel, but not really enough to make a difference unless you're shooting past 600 meters. All right, the advantage of running a larger bore, and here's why the ASR, the Advanced Sniper Rifle, the MRAD, that a lot of the guys are going to be shooting at the competition, Casey's going to, their suppressor is going to be 338 suppressor. And that is because that gun is made to shoot a 308, a 300 Norma, same projectile, but a lot heavier, a lot longer. But the casing is a 338 Norma casing neck down to 300. And then the larger round, because it's a multi-caliber gun, the larger round is a 338 Norma. That is the fattest round that rifle is designed to shoot. So the suppressor is made for the largest diameter projectile. I run a 308 suppressor on my 6.5 Creedmoor, on my 6mm Creedmoor, and it works just fine. I run a 338 suppressor on my 338 and my 300s, all right? Same thing with pistols, guys. I run all of my pistol suppressors are actually 45 caliber, so that I can run a 40 cal, I can run a 9mm. Is it a couple decibels louder than if I was running a 9mm suppressor? Maybe, but I'm so deaf I don't even notice it. Anything to add to that, Casey?
No,
I've just done verbal
I just got
diarrhea
schooled.
for 7 minutes.
I just got schooled. What about 22? 22 gets its own. I think at the
I
threads.
actually own a 22 suppressor,
Yeah.
and I only run it on 22s.
Yeah.
Could you run 5.56 through it? Maybe, but understand, probably no, one. But two, a 22 long rifle suppressor is made for that amount of pressure and gas.
Right.
So do not, just because your bullet will fit, do not run a 5.56 through a 22 long rifle suppressor, even though I've had civilians tell me it's fine.
Online?
I own a lot of cans, dude. I didn't realize how many suppressors. since they've digitalized all of it, my last suppressor, I went in and did the paperwork, and my local FFL, he's actually got the fingerprint machine digitally. You do it right there. You don't got to go to the sheriff's department to get fingerprint cards. I got my suppressor stamped back in 5 days.
Wow.
5 days.
That's
so anyway,
amazing.
it still is terrible that you have to pay a $200 tax stamp. But, you know, it is what it is. It is what it is. All right, let's see. We got any new questions? Guys, how about Richard Bull threw down 20 bones?
Go Shockers.
Hi, Carl and
Nice.
KC. Go Shockers.
Yeah.
What's a shocker?
I can't explain it to you, Carl. If you don't know, you don't
Jerry
know.
Is that like Kansas City Shockers?
Wichita State, Wheat Shock.
Shockers?
Yeah, Wheat Shock.
Is that like a football team?
It is the, what do they call those guys?
Basketball?
Yeah, basketball.
Do they have a
The
football team?
The little guy, no, they got killed in a plane wreck, Carl. Thanks for bringing that up.
All of them?
Most all of them.
Did the rest of them eat them? I think I
No.
saw that movie.
No, there's a different deal. In
Different
fact,
deal?
one of them survived and lived behind Jerry L for quite a while.
Did you ever ask him if he ate anybody at the
No.
plane wreck?
No, it was a
No?
tough thing. Coaches,
Never?
players. Yeah, it's a bad thing. So
I mean, I'm not against it. I mean, depending on the
You're
recipe,
the one
if
that
it's
was
prepared properly.
You were writing me for saying get rid of the 99-year-old, and now you're telling these guys to eat their companions.
99 just, I mean, think about how tough that
Okay,
meat would be.
what was the
Casey.
question about their mascot? It's a Wheat Shock mascot.
I'm sorry, we got sidetracked. All right, Go Shockers. Question: considering a SB Tactical SBA4 SB, what's a SB?
I think it's a company.
Smitten Bender
No,
Tactical.
no, not Schmidt and Bender. It's Super Brace. Somebody.
Super who?
Something Brace. Super Brace, something SB. Yeah, good stuff.
SBA4 adjustable pistol brace for an AR-15 with 11-inch barrel with suppressor. Is it worth it over a 16-inch standard AR with a suppressor for home defense and TR classes? Yes. You mentioned home defense. I'm a big fan of suppressors for inside the house. All right? If you're going to run a suppressor inside the house, a shorter barrel, just don't go shorter than 10 inches. And you I was going to say 10 and a half inches. You mentioned 11 inches. So, yes. Now, you mentioned pistol brace. I don't care what pistol brace you put on. Pistol brace is a pistol brace. Here's my problem with pistol braces is, one, the whole NFA, short-barreled rifles should not even be in there, all right? Because a short-barreled rifle with a suppressor is actually less dangerous than a full-size M16A4.
It doesn't matter.
It
really doesn't matter.
It really doesn't matter.
Right.
A lot of people don't realize when they did the whole NFA thing, it was designed for, prohibition, all that stuff, everything, right? They got all the problems with everybody having Tommy guns. When they originally wrote it, it was supposed to get rid of all pistols, and they put in sawed-off shotguns and they put off sawed-off rifles, and
even short, like manufactured, like Game Getter,
yeah,
Stevens Game Getter.
everything. They wanted to get rid of everything, and
Short-barreled.
at the last minute, literally at the last minute, and then get rid of suppressors because suppressors were, they were the tool that the
evil.
mafia and everything were
They're
running,
evil.
right?
Yeah.
Assassins were running them. Okay, so it was written to get rid of pistols, anything small that was concealable, but there were so many politicians. Think about all the good old boys from Texas that were in politics and everything. They all at the last minute are like, no, you understand, I wear 2 revolvers while I'm at home on my ranch. No, we're not doing this. So I want to say it was like a day, 2 days prior, they wrote the pistols out of it, but they left sawed-off shotguns and they left
SBRs.
Anything shorter than 15 inches had to be registered, and that passed. It passed. But the next year, or so much later, they changed it to 16-inch barrels. Why? You know?
No idea.
Because the Boy Scouts of America was all their summer camps across the United States. Everybody was in Boy Scouts back then, and they did little bolt-action .22 rifles, and they all had 16-inch barrels.
Oh.
So they went from a 15-inch restriction to a 16-inch restriction. My gripe with it is, one, there's not a lot of assassinations going on, guys, outside of Jason Bourne. Two,
There's been some attempts.
I wear hearing aids. And I need suppressors in my life. And the whole thing that you can pay a $200 tax stamp and then you can get whatever you want. Think back to when NFA came around. Think of who could afford to pay a $200 tax stamp? That was $200 now. You understand that's 2 tanks of gas for my Jeep. That's it, 2 tanks of gas. $200 back then, that was the price of a brand new automobile, you know. And so it was only the rich and powerful could have suppressors. Only the rich and powerful could have short rifles like that. And that's the part that bugs me about it. Now, $200 tax stamp is, to me, that's just more my money that I could be spending on coffee beans and ammo.
Sure, it's the only industry in America that makes noise that all of the whatever you want to call them sit back and say it's okay.
Yeah.
Anything else that makes noise that can damage your ears, they're wanting it quieted down.
Yeah.
Firearms, just let it go.
Yeah.
Well, here's something. I'm glad you brought that up, and I know that we might be on polar opposite, but it's not going to be the first time, not going to be the last time.
I have no problem clashing with you, Casey.
Okay, so I was at SHOT Show this year, and guess who walks up?
I was at SHOT Show also.
No way.
Wait, serious, wait.
I should have had you at the booth. Anyhow, guess who walks up?
Who walked up?
Law enforcement training officer for the NRA.
Jesse the Body Ventura.
Nope, law enforcement training officer for the NRA. Okay. And I know the NRA has gotten a black eye, bad leadership for too long.
I support the NRA.
And they did a terrible job getting them out of there. But you know who continued to do a good job? Who? The Eddie Eagle program. Yeah. The firearm safety for women.
Johnny Appleseed.
No, Eddie Eagle. Johnny Appleseed is NRA.
Yeah, that's NRA.
What do they do?
They start new shooters.
Oh. Yeah. Anyhow, there's a whole bunch of
great
programs.
People.
And the point I'm trying to make with that is that, you know, you get to, if you join the NRA, you get to vote. You get to vote for those people in office, you know. And I mean, we don't, it seems like to me, you know, gun owners are a different cut where, you know, they're going to stand up even if they don't win. You nor I said we're moving to Canada, right? When Trump lost, whenever the last election, we didn't do that.
No.
Right? No. We've never even thought about that.
No.
Because we know it's going to change, right?
Yeah.
So we do the same thing. I feel like we should do the same thing with the NRA and say, let's get people in there that represent us.
For sure.
And somebody told me, you know, well, you know, they let whatever, you know, you're talking about the pistol braces. Well, they let whatever it was, you know, get outlawed. And it's like, I would rather the NRA get politicians in there that won't let those laws become something to vote on.
Sure.
You know, and we've seen that. We've seen that right now. There's politicians that are pushing for the abolishment of the ATF. And you know, this whole thing with AI is kind of funny. We've actually been using AI at B&T for 5 years, and it's a guy named Darren. He's our accountant, and it's not artificial intelligence. It's actual intelligence.
Actual intelligence.
Yeah. And it's like, you know, he's a smart guy. He always watches your show. I don't know if he's out there tonight. Hi, Darren, if you are. But
if you're watching, I caught that joke. I did.
But the point being is that, you know, he had some issues, and it's like joined other groups of, you know, gun supporters. And I said, that's great. I mean, you should be in the fight at some level somewhere.
Yeah.
And I don't, you know, no disrespect to him at all. But, you know, he came to me the other day and said, hey, I actually, you know, renewed my membership for the NRA. And, you know, we, like you said yourself that, you know, we've had a little bit of success. You know, we don't know what the future holds. We just got to be prepared. And, you know, that you got to say that all those other gun right organizations, I can't think of any of them that stopped the bills I'm talking about from becoming law. okay, they said they were going to ban, let's just say the bump stock, right? Or that trigger thing, right?
Yeah, nobody stopped.
Nobody else stopped it.
Yeah, that
you
was
know?
Trump, by the way, guys. Isn't that crazy? That was Trump, by the way.
Yeah. So I'm just saying that being unified that way is a big thing.
Yeah, I'm members of two. I'm a life member of the NRA and Gun Owners of America. Gun Owners of America is a great organization.
Yep.
Also, they're pit bulls, but like Casey said, he listed off a bunch of programs. And again, you guys know the whole, well, he's a NRA certified pistol instructor. I understand that's plant life level. I got that. But you understand there's a lot of people out there that need that level before they go to classes like ours, okay? So I do not bash NRA instructors at all. But there are a lot of viewers and a lot of commenters. When I make a comment, I'm going to NRA convention, they're like, oh, there's nothing but fudge there. NRA screwed us and everything. Guys, instead of hating on, I agree with you 100% on this. Instead of hating on one organization because you don't think they tried hard enough, at least they're trying. How about we support all of them instead of letting the other side divide us? They love to see people abandoning the NRA. They
that was big stuff.
Yeah.
And here's the other thing. I know that you're really good at it. Carl comes out to our range day, and he's literally laid on the ground with, teaching, coaching people to shoot, all kinds of stuff. But just round after round after round, and man, I think every one of them get up with a better appreciation for firearms and certainly appreciation for you. But I think that's probably Carl's personality and also his SF training that way. Wonderful teacher.
I
But
appreciate that.
one of the things, well, I wouldn't have you out if you weren't.
He's actually got me scheduled to come back out to range.
But
it's
here's
the third week of June this year, right?
Don't miss it. Just don't miss it.
I'm
Okay.
not gonna miss it. I'm
So
coming for a week.
here's the deal that
My wife's going on vacation.
I'm going to challenge you guys with, and you too, is that let's get more youth involved. Okay. I mean, get more young people out using firearms in a proper way. I mean, golly, it's so crazy. You can go to Instagram and find different feeds or whatever where, a skinny kid is being confronted by somebody or confronting somebody who's twice as big, and the guy who's twice as big pulls a gun out and shoots a skinny kid. And it's like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah.
I mean, what's wrong with hitting him in the face, right?
Yeah.
And it's like there's just a problem that way. And I think that there's a lot of young men certainly that need mentors. Good people that are going to help them go in the right direction. I remember one time, and I running down a rabbit trail, but at a gun show, I was literally next to a guy, his son, and the kid reaches out and says, "What is?" And he's 3 inches away from touching, right? Yeah. What is that? And the guy says, "Don't touch that." And the kid pulls his hand back, and the dad says, "Well, son, that's a 1911, blah 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 blah." And he walks down. I looked at the guy after they walked away. I said, "What is wrong with you? Yeah. What are you talking about?" I said, "Why'd you yell at that kid about that gun? I don't want him fingering my gun." Of course, he's using colorful language.
Yeah, colorful language.
Yeah, and he's like, I didn't want him fingering my gun. I said, "Did you ever think about showing it to him?" Yeah. I mean, that's the future of your business. Yeah. You're selling guns, and you just made this kid, just barking at him like that. Yep. Well, his dad should know better. I said, okay, you know what? I'll give you that. His dad should have done better about it, but his dad didn't. Maybe his dad needs some coaching too. Yep. You know how to do that, and I don't know. I just think that we all have a sense of responsibility that way.
We do. Everybody's got to step up, pull their own weight, guys. I'm real big on. My wife reminds me, I'm supposed to be retired, which means I'm supposed to be spending more time with her. Right, and you are. That is the truth. I'm like, for example, tonight. This is a nice, quiet evening. I went on a double date with my wife and Casey and his wife. Yeah, and then we went to go see the big screen.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, without a doubt. But I'm very big on. There's a lot of concerned citizens out there that I want to make capable citizens, and. So like me and the wife were doing math for my last class. I was in class all last week. And the week prior, it was like 7 degrees. Last week, it was 70 degrees. And that's why I've got this glorious suntan right now. It's sunburned, guys. I got cooked out there. But yes, it was rough. But I didn't have that many people signed up. I really didn't. So when we start doing what's the profit margin on this thing, and I didn't go in the hole, but at the same time, it's like, is this worth the time I'm taking away from my wife? And she lets me do it because she knows, one, if I was sitting at home on the couch, I'd be dead in 2 years from a heart attack. But she knows that it warms my heart to get out there and try to make the world a better place. So she puts up with my jackassery and me teaching. She doesn't mind that she's going on vacation and I'm like, hey, I'm going up to Wichita, Kansas, because Casey needs me for range day.
Yeah, bona fide.
Yeah,
Hey, so you do math? You do math? What is that?
Math?
Yeah, what is that number right there?
Hold on, let me get my mother-in-law's reading glasses here. Okay.
What is that number right there that's highlighted?
The number that's highlighted?
Uh-huh. Is that?
Hold on, I got to put my pinky out.
Okay.
1 million. Okay, that's 1 million.
I think it's 1 billion.
No.
9 zeros.
Oh, snap. Hold on. That's let's see.
Is that?
Hold on, that's that finger right there.
Okay.
$1 billion.
So what's
But
weird?
it doesn't have a dollar sign. What is that?
It's just
1
it's the
million what?
population. It's 1 billion. It's
1
1
billion?
billion population.
Of what?
Human beings in the world.
There's more than a billion humans.
That was in 1804.
Oh, 1804. Oh, that's by year. Okay.
Yeah.
A billion.
Yeah. Well, now let me tell you.
1 billion humans.
This is my last time on here, so I'm going to go ahead and throw this out
That's
there,
a lot
okay?
of monkeys.
So 1 billion in 1804.
1804. Okay.
Right?
Yep.
Now this is where you need your calculator.
Okay.
Okay? So
Alright.
how much water is in a human being?
How much water
Yeah,
is in a human being?
You're a medic.
6.241 liters, but that's counting all the interstitial fluid also.
Sure, it's all water based.
Yeah, I'm joking, Casey. I got no freaking clue how
Oh,
much
okay.
water is in a human being.
Well, look it up. We need to know this because here's the deal.
Hey Siri, kill yourself. Casey, I'm not going to ask Casey no trivial stuff like that.
Okay.
All right, so 1 billion
Right.
people.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
So here we go. That was in 1804. 221 years later, right?
Okay, that brings us to what?
221 years later, it's 220 years later, 8 billion.
8 billion 161,972,572.79 because 7 more women just had.
So you know what's
29 because a couple more ladies.
Are you
just
guys
had,
in a drought here?
I'm getting updated numbers here.
Are you in a drought?
Hold on, wait. There was just another 100 births. Hold on. Oh, Casey, you understand that number's rolling. Right?
Oh, I know that.
Okay,
I know
so
that. But I'm just
how many billion?
8 billion in
8 billion.
2024 from
Yeah.
1 billion
Okay,
in
from 1 billion.
1804.
They've been getting busy.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm just saying are you
Okay.
guys in a drought here?
We're in a drought, yeah.
Everybody is, and that's why. Every human being is like 11 gallons of water. You got smart people like Randy.
Right. If we want to save the planet,
They're on
we've
to
got
it.
to reduce the human population.
That's what I'm saying.
by
Without saying
50%.
it, I didn't want to say it, but
Okay.
it's
Yeah,
got
but
to be
they've heard
somewhere.
me say that before. Now, here's the deal, guys. A lot of people are about saving the planet. Casey wants to get rid of half the people on the planet.
No,
Emery wants
not
to get rid
really.
of 80%.
Not half, I
Here's
don't.
the deal. It does. All right. Here's the deal, people.
Here we go.
I'm going to go to Gucci Cam for you. It really doesn't matter because no matter how awesome you guys think you are one. How long have we been here, people? 35,000 years on this pretty blue marble. The dinosaurs were here for how many million years? And the sharks were here longer than that. 35,000 years.
Hey, what about the cockroach?
No, it doesn't matter. My point, though, is you're nothing but a paragraph. You're not even a whole chapter. You're a paragraph in the history book of this pretty blue marble, right? So anyways, I'm off my soapbox. You don't have to worry
Can I
about
have a
saving the
soapbox?
planet.
No.
My show. No, honest.
No, I get it.
Don't damage the planet any more than you have to. But understand, humans will be gone, and your bones aren't even big enough for them to find later on. You know, they're just not.
Everybody's in a drought.
They're just not. 3 million years from now, all the metals in the buildings and the glass, they've done studies. They're not going to find squat.
You know what
They're
I
not
think
gonna
is
find
funny
nothing.
is that back in the day, you know, they would do archaeological digs and they'll say, "Hey, look what we found. These people were here. They did this." That's gone.
Yeah.
I mean, there's people that are picking rocks up from New Hampshire
Yeah.
and taking them to Texas, and there it is in the flower bed, and they're going to be like, "What is this here for?" No, they're not. They're not going to care.
Guys, Casey, you saw him holding up
I didn't
my
hold it up.
life reference manual. I pitch these to you guys every so often. I just got another case of them in, so I've got a fresh case. If you got anybody in your life that is in a bad way, you're not in a bad way. This is for people that need it.
Okay.
Guys, the first couple pages, you go to whatever issue you have, anger issues, maybe it's financial, maybe it's depression. You scroll to where it is, and it gives you pages to go to for references. Life reference manual. This one says military. They got a law enforcement one, but it really doesn't matter. If you've got somebody in your life, I don't care if it's a guy down on the corner you walk by every day and flip boogers at, it doesn't matter. If you think that this would help them out, send me an email or reach out to me on Instagram, and I'll mail you one. I will eat the postage, and I'll send you one of these things. Now, full disclosure,
There you go.
it is the Constitution, it's Psalms, and it's the New Testament. But I don't care if you're atheist, Holly Krishner, Catholic, Jewish, or devil-worshiping Muslim. Sincerely, you go to the correct pages and you read them, and I guarantee you, it doesn't matter what kind of clothes your God wears, or whether you don't believe in God, you'll come away feeling better. It works. It really does. So, again, won't cost you a dime. Maybe it's not for you, but there's a lot of you out there that know people that are messed up.
Maybe it is.
Casey's one of the most godly people I know, and I
No.
look up to Casey. See how he shakes his head? That's how you know he really is. And Casey said,
I just try. I'm trying.
you blessed dinner tonight while we were at the Mexican
I know what I did.
restaurant.
I know that, but that doesn't. I just try. I'm
I
a Christ
know.
follower,
Yeah.
and every day I wake up sinful. You know, and I'm just trying to do better.
Me too.
For
Just
sure.
trying to do better.
Yep. I didn't
Just
know.
trying to do better.
I just looked at that real quick. I didn't even see what it was. Pretty cool. I didn't know you were doing that. Proud of you. Good job.
Military life reference manual, guys. It's the perfect size. Keep in your stuff.
Oh, where's that little book at? Man, we should have brought that
Right here.
book in. No.
It's right here.
Our new product book. That's about the same size.
It's about the same size.
It is. It just made me think of it.
He
But
had
this
this
is
little Right in the Rain book that was the perfect size with B&T logo, and everybody would come by the booth and grab them thinking they got a free Right in the Rain book. Every page is, there's no room to write. It's all his products filling it.
It was
And they
not
come back to the
intentional.
booth and throw them on the table. It's hilarious.
It's almost as
Hilarious.
funny as being at the Wanamaker show in Tulsa. You've never been. At some point we should go.
No.
But I always set out jalapeno peanuts, and people would come by and say, "Oh, can I have some of those?" Yep, they got some jalapeno on them. Oh, I love that. Oh, I'm gonna pass. Whatever it is, right?
Yeah.
It's the sneaky guy, the guy that comes by and he just like keeps walking, gets a handful, throws it in his mouth. It's like, I don't care, right? But what I do care about is the guy that does that, and then you hear this, comes stomping back, like, what's on those peanuts? Those jalapenos. Well, you should tell people that, and then you shouldn't steal my peanuts. Keep moving, Chuck.
Keep moving.
Yeah.
Keep
But,
moving.
yeah, that's a good show.
Jerry, will you hand me that picture of Chuck Mawhinney up there? Guys, you guys know I have certain heroes in my life. For example, Randy Worth, but another one is John Stryker Myers, the McAfee Saw guy. All right, and everybody knows I sniper background. I'd read the book 93 Confirmed Kills. It's about Gunny Hathcock. A lot of you guys have read. Maybe you haven't. For the longest time, Gunny Hathcock, this Marine, he had the record 93 confirmed kills. And well, when Gunny Hathcock passed away, all these historians are like, well, who was second behind him? And they started doing their homework, going around and digging through archives, and they found out that there was actually this guy. He was in the Army, wasn't he?
No, Marine Corps.
Marine Corps. He was in the Marine Corps. There's a guy named Chuck Mawhinney, and they're like, he's had like 103 confirmed kills, more than Gunny Hathcock. And a lot of the old Marines are like, no, that's bullshit. You're lying. You're just trying to claim the fame because Gunny's gone. And poor Chuck's like, look, it wasn't 101. It was actually 103, and so many unconfirmed. And I don't care. Just leave me alone.
Yeah, he came back and went to work in the Forest Service, and that's where he wanted to stay.
That's what he wanted to stay. Well, they drug Chuck Mawhinney in the limelight. I didn't know who Chuck Mawhinney was. Well, Casey, in Casey's office, he has a picture of me printed, me holding my SR-25 or something, and I'd send Casey back CD-ROMs with pictures from overseas, and he's like, hey, I got this picture signed by a Navy SEAL. I want to print one of your pictures, and I want you to autograph it, and I'll put it up next to his. I'm like, okay, cool. So one SHOT Show. So Casey brings 3 or 4 of these pictures, and I autograph it for Casey. I'm not big on autographing. I think I hadn't even autographed it yet. I hadn't autographed it yet, but I knew we had him at the booth. Well, I'm there, but it's the only year they made me wear uniform at SHOT Show. I always go in civilian clothes. And guys are always come up to me saying, Sergeant, thank you for your service. Well, sure enough, this old guys, you can see the picture right there. That's me, and this old guy comes up to me, and he goes, "Hey, Sergeant, I just want to thank you for your service." And I'm like, "Oh, thank you, sir." And I looked at his name tag, said Chuck, and the guy walks away. I'm the next booth over from Casey's, and Casey goes, "You know who that was?" I'm like, "Yeah, that was Chuck." He's like, "No, that's Chuck Mawhinney." I'm like, "What's a Chuck Mawhinney?" And he goes, "Seriously, Chuck Mawhinney, like greatest sniper ever, Vietnam, killed everybody in the river with the night scope, all over the History Channel, blah, 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 blah." Humble, very humble guy. Yeah. That's cool. So Chuck goes over to Casey's booth. I mentioned I'm in a different booth. I'm staying aside. Casey gives him a picture of me, because Casey printed a bunch of them because he knows I would spell his name wrong, autographing it for Casey. And Chuck asks Casey if he could have one of the pictures of me. And he comes up to me and he says,
greatest event.
He signs it for me. And here's the picture, guys. The black and white picture, that's Chuck Mawhinney, and it says,
best wishes.
What
is that? Best wishes, Chuck
Best
Mawhinney.
wishes, Chuck Mawhinney. And up here it says Carl. Carl, comma, best wishes, Chuck Mawhinney. And he gives this to me, and he's like, "Hey, Carl, hey, Sergeant, just want you to have this." And I'm like, because now I know who he is. I'm like, "Hey, sir, thank you. That's awesome." And he goes, "Hey, I wouldn't ask, but I'm curious if you would." Casey gave me one of these, and I was wondering if you would autograph it for me. And he hands me the pen and the picture, and I laid it down, and I'm like,
froze. You're stuck.
I froze. And
Yeah.
Casey's laughing.
Oh yeah. You got starch. You're like.
And he's like, "What's wrong?" And I'm like, "I don't know what to write." And he goes, "Well, you don't have to write anything." And I'm like, no, it's not that, sir. I'm honored. No one has ever asked me for my autograph.
It was a glorious moment,
never,
for sure.
No one's ever asked me for my autograph. So, anyways, I got a picture with Chuck Mawhinney. That's me and Chuck at SHOT Show. And this picture of Chuck, we're in my man room right now, and it hangs on the wall. There are very few pictures in this room that mean a lot to me, and this one right here is awesome.
Yep.
Thanks, Ariel, for getting that for me. But I would not have met this legend without Casey. Would not have met him without Casey. So anyways, thank you, Casey.
Yeah,
Indeed,
you're welcome.
thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah.
Chuck passed away.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's
last
too
year.
bad.
Yep. Tough thing
Loss,
for sure.
loss of an American legend,
Yep.
without a doubt. Good people,
Yeah,
super humble guy.
Oh man, you would never have guessed it. And what the reason he started coming over to our booth is he was at a knife company,
Yeah.
and they didn't offer him any kind of chair to sit or anything like that. And I had a chair, and I told him, hey, your wife can come over here and sit. And he goes, okay, that's great. So she would come over and sit, and he's like, well, hey, can I come over and sit? And I said, no, you can't, Chuck. You just stay over there. You're working. No, I said, of course you can. So anyhow, he would come over there and sit and visit and stuff. And
Like I do with my bad knee.
Yeah,
I'll be wandering. I just come sit
yeah,
in his
we
booth.
never sit in those chairs. Guests do, which is cool.
I'll come in and I'll be all laid up and I'll be like, Casey, I need some Motrin.
I need more
I need some
Motrin.
Motrin.
Yeah.
Motrin, Tylenol.
Yeah, but what's funny about this picture is that when I asked, and these guys, that are on that wall, I met them early on in the business and, remained friends with them, not Chuck, obviously, but still stay in touch with his wife. But it's interesting that, just having a picture of Chuck Mawhinney getting ready to go out on a mission.
Yeah.
And he's got, I think that's a M70 Winchester,
Yeah.
red
field scope, couple of grenades, 3 or 4 ammo packs.
Desert Tiger Stripe.
And
I
just,
mean, a Jungle Tiger
yeah,
Stripe.
just minimal equipment. Then the picture I got of Carl, and he's always been a fit guy, but he literally looks like a Pillsbury doughboy. Just all the body armor and antennas and all this stuff. And I'm like, and there was that helicopter in the background. I think it's a 56 or something with a 50 on the back. Yeah. And it's like, Chuck was sneaking around in the jungles of
He's
Vietnam.
going in the jungle. I was getting on the helicopter to ride on the helicopter. I was doing, when that picture was taken, I was doing a seesaw package for Tommy Franks, General Franks, during the initial invasion of Iraq.
I just know this,
Yeah.
is that,
I was carrying too much stuff.
well, I don't know about that, but what I know about this is this was, the old Marine Corps, adage, one shot, one
Yeah,
kill,
one
which
shot, one
is,
kill.
is,
Then there's me,
is the intent.
12 shots, 1 kill.
Go until they don't, right? But, and it's like, then you see you, and it's like, man, technology, what has that done to the battlefield, And
Yeah.
I know that, again, I know that somebody sent me some video of a building that a sniper was in, and there was a fear of, him killing a U.S. soldier, and it was like, yeah, this is going to happen. We've got to count, and it's just like, for sake of argument, it's like 3, 2, 1, and this building
Took the whole building down.
disappears. And I was like, that was done because of all that stuff you had.
Yeah.
Locate, identify, and demolish. And it's
Yeah.
like, Chuck didn't have that,
No,
and
Chuck
it's just,
didn't have that stuff back
and now, on the battlefield is drones or something
Yes.
else. And
There's some awesome stuff out there.
yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Don't. Hold on. She said, I missed the super chat. This is from my wife. Rick Schaefer, 10 bones. We didn't miss that one. My wife just said that I did.
Yeah.
Okay. My wife looking out for me, guys. She's sending me things.
Good job,
My
Pam.
wife also wanted to remind me that I was going to give away 2 slots to Mountain Readiness. Now, these are not from my classes because
You're special.
I'm special. No, because sincerely, I want you guys to come to Mountain Readiness. Here's why I'm giving away 2 slots. All right. JT, you let me know when you're ready to do the giveaway. We're at 8:30 right now, guys. We're going to do this real quick. So we're going to draw at 8:50. 8:50. All right. Between now and then, you just got to put MRE, right? MRE, Meals Ready to Eat. No, Mountain Readiness Expo. Just in the chat room, put MRE. You can enter a maximum of 3 times. Right, but put in MRE to get in on the giveaway. I'm giving away 2 passes for the 3-day Mountain Readiness Expo in May in North Carolina. Why am I giving away 2 slots? I appreciate you asking, because I want you guys to bring your spouse, your significant other. If your wife doesn't want to go or your husband doesn't want to go, bring your son, bring your daughter, does not matter, but I designed it for you to bring your spouse with you because this is a very family-oriented event. So anyways, I'm giving away 2 slots. We're going to draw at 8:50. So you've got 11 minutes, guys. 11 minutes. JT is saying, I've got a couple more to do here. He says, ready when you are. All right, guys, I got a couple more questions came in. Anna and Annalise and Kyle Beeler, they threw down 10 bones. Thanks for the great classes recently and for taking time out of every week to engage with the community. Annalise, Kyle, I appreciate that. Stephen Rogers threw down 50 bones. Thank you, Stephen. You're the man. Hey, Carl, a little extra for tonight. Also, what are the lodging options at Mountain Readiness? You know, that is an excellent question. A lot of people like Fred and Maria LaCourte, they're in the chat room a lot. I don't know if they're here tonight. They're patrons of ours, great friends of my family. They stay at a hotel in Statesville, North Carolina. Nice hotel. It rained cats and dogs. So there are local hotels. Me, I am bringing my off-road camper behind my Jeep with all my stuff, and Emery and Randy are going to be in a tent. Angry American, Chris Weatherman, he has got a, what is it, Dane, 50-something foot long towed RV fifth wheeler trailer with a gas fireplace, and it's beautiful. I think he's got 2 or 3 TVs in it. Wow. So you can come camp out and rough it like Chris. But like Toby and Karen, they're going to come camp out with us. A bunch of people are camping out. There are plenty of campsites there. We're doing what we call a primitive camping. I'm going to have to run about 20 extension cords to get to an electrical outlet. But I really don't need anything. I don't. Me and the wife, we've got, it's got 100 gallons of water for the hot water shower. I've got solar panels, and I've got a generator if I need it. But there are hotels. Excellent question. All right, we're going to move on to next one. Next question. This one is from Michael Johnson. Question, Carl, what kind of optic would be suitable for a Mark 11 type precision, long-range precision gas gun? Offset red dot, thank you. Hope your knee fully recovers. Yeah, I hope my knee fully recovers too. Any kind of gun setup, guys, any kind of gun setup, I will always have you ask yourself, what is your situation and what is your mission? What I mean by that is if you're going up on the mountain of Afghanistan, you want your weapon to be light, but you need to be able to see extremely long distances. I would put a larger magnification scope on. You need to be able to get down to 5x to use night vision, so maybe a 5 to 25. All right, I never ran anything like that. On my Mark 11, I ran a 3.5 to 10. Here's why. Because my situation was I'm in a urban environment, rural environment, but very, very close in. But also, you look at my actual mission, my mission was, unless we were doing counter sniper ops or things like that, my mission was to support the assault force as they were assaulting the target. So to do that, let's say there's a sentry outside a guard and they can't get to the breach point. They literally can't get there to put the charge on the door. You've got to be able to take that sentry out. How do you do that? A subsonic shot. Now, subsonic round, our subsonic ammo is only good to about 200 meters. At 200 meters, it's literally a 3-inch shot group. When you get at 260 meters, it opens up to an 8-inch shot group. 8 inches is a hit on a chest, but to take out a sentry, to keep him from shooting that AK and waking everybody up, you've got to hit that zero reflex kill box. You've got to get that brainstem. So not only did I need to be able to get within 200 meters of the near side of my target, that guard could have been anywhere on the target. So I had to get within 200 meters of the entire target. And I'm not shooting paper. I'm shooting a living, breathing T-box, brainstem, that's smoking cigarettes and walking around in the dark in high winds. So I had to make my gear as accurate as possible, but still be able to observe that wide of a battle space. So we ran 3.5 to 10x Leopold Mark Mark IVs, and as far as the offset red dot, I didn't run one. The flip-up scope cap. You know, it's got the little buttons on the side, your scope cap, right? You flip it up, it's got the little buttons. I would flip up that front scope cap, and I'd put those 2 little bunny ears on both sides of the head. The bullet would go right through the head. Put it on sides of the chest, it would go right through the chest. I knew my height over bore for doing work inside the shoot house. Not against red dots, just if you're going to go with a red dot, go with an enclosed one. All right, rain, for example. All right, next question. David Bobine threw down $50 minus shipping and handling.
Nice.
For the postage on your books to send, the book to send out.
He's covering the postage for you.
David, I appreciate that, buddy. Sincerely, guys, I'm not joking. I got another case of these things in. I don't have any of the law enforcement ones back, but I was down to half a case. I have 2 cases of them now. They're from a ministry in Nashville. They don't charge me a dime. And they're like, so long as I'm sharing them with good people, they will keep getting them to me. And they're good people, guys. And this is how we help make the world a better place. And again, it doesn't matter if they're an atheist. It doesn't matter if they're a devil-worshiping Muslim or even a Baptist. It doesn't matter. All walks of life can benefit from this book right here. All right. We had one more.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Oh, this one is from Barry Becker. He threw down $20 and a 5. What's the 5 for?
He loves you. 5 balloons, I guess. I don't know.
A balloon and a 5 and a balloon. That's cryptic for.
Go more.
How about? I have no idea.
Yeah.
All right. Next one. Guys, I'm new at this iPhone stuff. Not very good at this. Yes, JT's asking, we're not drawing 2 separate names, guys. You're drawing one name. Whoever the winner is, you get 2 slots. Again, you got 3 minutes left if you'd like to get in on this giveaway. Again, guys, don't enter if you live in Frankfurt, Germany, and there's no way you can come to the States in May. All right, I want you to, somebody who's really going to attend, and I'm giving you both slots so that you can bring a guest with you. All right, what was that one? I don't even remember that one. Is there a non-tent camping at Mountain Readiness? Too late for this year, maybe next. That's Stephen Rogers asking. Yeah, there's like I said, there's hotels. There'll be people doing tents. But me and the wife will be my little off-road camper.
He might be asking about a camper too, right?
You can bring a camper.
Yeah, he's asking about, is there something other than tent camping?
You don't have to do, excellent question or comment anyways. Last year there were a couple attendees that were tactical rifleman fans that actually rented campers from a nearby campsite. And like when we went camping, me and the wife, we just went camping with Fred and Maria and Toby and Karen. Toby and Karen showed up with their little off-road camper. It's badass like mine. Yeah, Fred and Maria, they rented a camper, and it was nice, but we pulled it out there, so all they had to do was come driving in their little Mercedes and then get right into it. Mercedes.
Yeah.
Mercedes.
Right.
We had a great time. It's always fun to go camping, guys.
It sounds like to me that Mountain Readiness deal is just doing all they can to accommodate people to come in.
Yeah, they really are,
yeah.
dude. They've got gut trucks there. If you want to get food, it's like a county fair, but it's like-minded people just trying to share what they're passionate about to make the world a better place. A bunch of our patrons last year, I don't know if it's on the list this year, but I'm pretty sure it is because it was popular last year. They did chicken slaughtering and dead chicken preparation. So like, let's say you've got 500 chickens in your backyard. comes time to slaughter them, obviously you're not going to slaughter all 500, but
Kill 'em all.
10 chicken. You ever try plucking 10 chickens at one? No. So they have like assembly lines. They show you how to set it up so 2 people can quickly slaughter and prepare 10 chickens. They got this little thing that like spins them down to get all the feathers off of them. It looked brutal as hell, but
I think they call that a mix master, right?
I'm like, man. I'm like, okay. The part that I think is hilarious is when I first started dating my beautiful wife, Dana, if I had to slaughter a chicken, there's no way she would eat it. There's no way. Because to her, chicken's born wrapped in plastic. You know, that's just the truth. Chicken is born wrapped in plastic.
Ready
it's
to
already
prepare.
clean, ready to go. If you killed it, she ain't eating it. She ain't eating it. But now she's like, I'm not saying we're ready for chickens yet, but that's because chickens, if you understand, if you buy a chicken coop, it comes with a chicken snake. And my wife has a phobia about snakes. You know this. Anyway.
No, I don't know this. I need to know
my
about
wife's
chicken.
got a phobia
What do you mean
of snakes.
a chicken snake? There's a snake in the chicken coop?
When you buy a chicken coop, all chicken coops have a chicken snake in it.
A rubber snake?
No. See, my mother-in-law, I miss her. I miss my mother-in-law passed away a few years ago. I miss Linda to death. But she had shared the stories about when she came from a family of 16 kids, and they grew up, they had a chicken coop. And apparently one time when she was growing up, right, how many years, right, she was growing up, she got married when she was 16. So it was before her 16th birthday. But one time, she went in to get the egg out from under the chicken, and there was a black chicken snake there. So to my wife, that means all chicken coops have snakes in them. My wife has a real snake phobia, like a real phobia. And I poke her with a stick about it, but
I wouldn't poke her with a stick.
No, it's real. You know, phobias are a real thing. They really are.
Didn't you treat her to a little swimming pool snake action, and didn't she fix that?
Yeah, kayaking. And
I mean, didn't she do something to resolve the snake in the?
Oh yeah. I was gone, and she went to open the skimmer on the swimming pool, and there's a little itty baby snake in there that was 12 feet long.
Sure.
Yeah, 12 foot
but
long.
But didn't she resolve
garter
that?
Snake. I think she got like pulled somebody off the lawnmower and had them come over and deal. But the snake was already gone or something. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. But I've got so many good snake stories with my wife. So I caught a snake in the yard, and I caught a snake. It was nice. It was not a poisonous snake. I've never found a poisonous snake on the hill here. And they're everywhere in Trigg County, but never on the hill. Not a single poisonous snake. But I caught a nice snake, nice little 4-footer, not bad. And my son Nicholas is home, and I think Isabella was home. Yeah, it was this house. It was this. So Isabella was already born, and I'm walking to the front door because I want to get Isabella to come up because I want to show her the snake, right? She's not scared of snakes yet. I want to introduce her to the snake. You can't see through the front door. So I walk up, and I got this thing in my hand. It's wrapped around this hand, and it's wrapped around this hand. I'm holding it. Well, I guess my wife saw through the door. She saw me coming. So beautiful, loving wife, she wants to greet me at the door. Right as I step up to the door, I'm not even knocking it, but I'm right there. She opened up the door, and here I am with my hands like this, and this snake is like right there. And she lost her mind because she assumes I did it on purpose. I did not do it on purpose, but to her, funny
what do they
stuff.
call that?
I'm
Comedy?
sorry, honey. I'm so sorry. Please forgive me.
Comedy? What do they call that? Something about a coincidence of comedy or something?
Yeah. Anyways, and that's, but it doesn't happen very often. Once, twice, maybe 300 times, I've accidentally startled my wife with a snake.
Okay.
Probably closer to 300 times.
Yeah. So.
Are you looking for more questions?
No, I'm looking for you're supposed to give something away.
Oh, yeah. All right, let's see if we got a winner. All right. I have a winner. Drum roll. All right. Casey, if you'll read.
I can't pronounce that.
You don't have to.
Jesse
Jeriel
Spittler.
Bell.
Jesse Spittler. That's
All right, guys. Jesse Spittler.
Mm-hmm.
Guys,
Good job.
Jesse Spittler. You're my winner, guys. Or gal. Here's the deal,
Human.
Jesse. I need you to take a picture of your avatar, your YouTube avatar. That way I know it's not Ray Craddock pretending to be Jesse Spittler. All right. And Ray Craddock's one of our fans. He's here like every night. All right, Jesse, first off, congratulations. And I look forward to seeing you and your partner there at Mountain Readiness. Take a picture of your avatar and send an email to tacticalrifleman1, all one word, tacticalrifleman1@gmail.com. Again, tacticalrifleman1@gmail.com. And send me your name, your email address, and I will get you all signed up with Bob Toombs at Mountain Readiness, and he will get you those too. It's going to be awesome, without a doubt. I look forward to seeing you there.
Yeah, and you ought to think about, once it's over with, just reach out to Carl on one of these and just tell him your experience, what you learned there.
Yeah, I'd love
That'd be kind of cool.
And for all of you that did Mountain Readiness last year, I'd love to have you guys put in the chat room whether you really enjoyed it or whether I'm just lying to everybody, because I don't believe I'm lying. Philip Wilson, hey, how you doing, Philip? Philip's one of our patrons. Looking for a pistol caliber carbine type solution, actually a PPC or CAA micro conversion kit. EDC is a Glock. What should I choose to be more compatible with my EDC and my AR-15?
Banshee.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the Banshee, guys. So's Casey. Casey went with 45
and 9.
and 9. You got both.
And 5.728.
And 5.7. You got all three of them?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we got a deal. Industry.
Industry.
Yeah, you don't understand.
Not industry.
The guy actually flew on his private jet to Wichita, or plane, I guess it was just a plane, flew in, wanted to meet us, and was like, yeah, that's really cool. And he said, if you want anything from us, just let us know. It's like, matter of fact, yes.
They gave me a sticker.
No,
When I stopped
come
by
on.
their booth at SHOT, they gave me a sticker. Swag, here's some swag.
We had to pay for it. We had to pay for it, but
No,
man, I have run that gun dirty. I've taken it up.
Yes,
I've taken
yes.
it up to another schoolhouse.
Yeah.
And the guy that runs that schoolhouse was like, Casey, when are you going to clean this gun? I was like, I don't know. I'm afraid to. Why? I said, because it'll quit running. No, it won't. You know what I'm talking about. But it's like, and it's funny. I got to tell you this later. But anyhow, it choked up on a group of guys.
Yeah.
And they're special guys, and they're like, oh, I'm sure he just weak-wristed it. You know those guys.
Yeah.
But that's the only time I've ever seen that gun cough.
Yeah.
I mean, and it is filthy.
Yeah,
It's
just
filthy.
Keep oiling it. Keep oiling it, guys. My daughters, I got told by Isabella, Princess Isabella. That's my daughter.
She told you to call her that?
No, Princess Isabella told me that that's not my Banshee. That's her Banshee.
Well, I thought that was
Her
understood.
Banshee. Yeah, well, that's a given. Well, I mean, that's a given. She's like, no, that's mine. So my poor wife, she has my SIG MPX. That's her little pistol caliber carbine. But honestly, I love the Banshee. If you want AR with AR controls, Banshee for sure.
Magazine.
Yeah, magazine stays the same.
Yeah.
Now, I have you guys have heard me talk about the Strybog from Global Ordnance. What I like the Strybog for is they have a model that takes the Glock mags also, and it's fully ambi better than how the AR is set up. But I think if Stoner had seen it back in the day, he would have said, you know, that's actually better. Let me do the bolt locking lever that way. Let me do this that way. And
I've never seen that rifle.
well, I've got two of them. I'll have to show you next time you come back through town.
Okay.
I'll tell you what, I'll bring them both to B&T Range Day.
Deal.
All right?
Are they 9?
Sounds like a good time.
9?
They're all 9 millimeters.
Yeah.
Yes, they are.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that is it for questions. Here's the deal, guys. You know I love you. one, not that much, but two, this is date night for me and Casey with our spouses, not me and Casey and you guys. So we've gone our usual 2 hours. I want to thank all you guys for hanging out with me and Casey. I want to thank Casey for hanging out.
Yeah, good time.
Always a pleasure, brother.
Yep, good time.
Always a
sure.
pleasure. Sincerely, guys, this is truly my best friend. I love Emery. I love Randy. These are my friends, but Casey is without a doubt my best friend. So yeah,
That makes me feel pretty awkward.
He has made me a better person in so many different ways, and sincerely, Casey, thank you. I'm gonna get all choked up. All right, guys.
All right.
Yeah. So,
Thanks.
parting words of wisdom from B&T Industries. And Casey Bell.
You know, go out and shoot.
Go out and shoot.
Yeah, go out and shoot.
Okay.
Enjoy it. Teach somebody. Take a youngster along, and do something nice for somebody.
Get out. All right.
Yeah, that's it.
Parting words of wisdom from Carl Erickson.
Let's hear it.
From Tactile Rifleman. Guys, there are dark clouds on the horizon. I know everybody thinks we can relax and breathe a little bit because of how the elections went. That's true. But you'd be surprised how quickly years can fly by. You need to keep pushing, keep training, get out there, train. I'd love to have you come train with us. If you want to do that, you can go to tacticalrifleman.com, sign up for classes there, or find other local classes around you. There are lots of instructors out there. There's a lot of good instructors out there. So please don't just train with us. Go train with other people also. But get out there and train. Next class is coming up 2 weeks. We are in Texas, and that's the first week of April. Lots of slots still open in Texas for pistol carbine. Sign up for that. That will be our last time going to Texas for quite a while. All right, the CQB class completely signed out. Following week, tactical precision rifle here at Cedar Creek Precision in Hopkinsville, Kentucky. And then after that, mountain readiness. And then the whole rest of the year is packed with classes. You can find them at tacticalrifleman.com. We will see you guys. Our live stream next week is going to be down at Palatka, Florida at Skydive Palatka. And it's going to be awesome without a doubt. That's all I've got. Y'all take care and shoot straight.
Incoming right there.